Okay. So yeah, let's get started. We have delayed a little bit so that other people can join. So now last session, let's have a quick revision. So last session, we talked about features of Python, how to install and set it up, how to use the Python's inbuilt ideally, or where you can get Python generally online, wherever like online, any online compiler you can use in order to write and test your code. We have seen the different types of data types we have. We talked about the terminology. What is data? What is literal? What is okay, keyword, variable, etc. and all. Done. So we have talked about all these things. Done. Right. So now in this session, we are going to talk about input and output. How to take input and how to display the output. Okay. From here onwards, it's very important. Every session, every minute. Okay. Whatever I'm teaching you is going to be very premium. Okay, you'll not get the same type of explanation with the same clarity and same examples. I've refined this graph over a lot of years. Okay, over hundreds of trainings. Okay, so everything comes with a strategy, right? So it will make you a better programmer. It will help you to learn the concept very easily. Yeah, let's get started. So we are going to talk about input and output functions. Now, see, before we get started with it, okay, first let us learn about what is meant by a function. See, I'll simply reveal the answer here itself. So, a function is something which performs a task. At a low level, a function is something which performs a task. Okay, let's compare it with your housemate. Whenever you call her by her name, okay, she will come to you. Whatever task that you assign to her, she will complete it again. She will go back, right, to her original work, normal way. Similarly, a function is a block of code written by either you or some other developer. Whenever you want to execute it, okay, you can simply call it. For now, simply remember function is something which performs a task. Okay. If you call it, it will perform some task for you, right? Just keep it simple in that way. We are going to talk about functions. That is the last topic of our 7-day bootcamp. We will talk about it a little bit more. You will get that clarity on that book, right? For now, what is function? At a basic level, function is something which performs a task. Okay, right. Now, there are two different types of functions. We have predefined functions, predefined, already defined by the Python developers, okay, which comes with the Python. And next we have user defined functions. We are the users. We will write our own functions. Those are what we call as user defined functions. So we have two types of functions. One, the developers wrote, which comes inbuilt with Python. Okay. Second, the ones we are going to write. That is what user defined functions are. Done. So these predefined functions, they will be present by with Python. We can also import them from outside installations as well. Okay. Don't worry about it as of now. We have two types, predefined and user defined. Now let us see some examples. Okay. So you see here, we are going to use this print function. Now, what does this print function do? You see, print function, we have this input function, we have this type function, we have this ID. These are the four inbuilt functions, predefined functions. So what did I tell you about function? Function is something which performs a task. So print function, it's used to display the data on the screen. Whenever you call it, whenever you use print, okay, something will be displayed on the screen, whatever you write inside of it. Next, we have input function. What does input function do? It is used to take input from the user, whatever inputs that you're going to enter from the keyboard. We use input to read it. Next, we have type function. What does type function do? It returns data type. Okay, whatever the data type of your variable is, it is going to return it. We have ID function. What does ID function do? ID function is going to give you the address location of the particular variable. Okay. But for now, what is meant by a function? Function is something which performs a task. What will print do? Print will display it on the screen. Input will take input from the keyboard. Type will tell you the data type. ID will tell you the address location. That's it. That's how simple it is. Okay. Right. So now let's get started with input. You see, we have two types of input. We have static input. Static means fixed input, okay, which cannot change, right? Now, dynamic input. Dynamic means moving or changing every time. The output will be different. So we have static input and we have dynamic input. Okay. So I do have a very detailed notes about the input function. Okay. First, let me show you the practical. Then you can come back here and revise all these points. Done. So let's go ahead and start writing the code part. We'll learn by writing code. Okay. So let me get started. So see here, I'll open any online Python compiler as for now. Okay. So we can go with programmers direct output. We will be able to see that on our screen. I'll zoom in a little bit. Done. Right. I'll zoom in and let's try to close this one. Done. So I've removed all the code. Now, what were we talking? We are talking about input, right? So whatever I code, I write here. For example, I'll just simply go with a print statement as of now. So print single quotes or double quotes, you can go with hello world. So whatever code that I write here, if I click on run, okay, that will be showed in the output. That will be executed, and the result I can see that in my output screen. Right side, you can see the output. So you can clear it. Okay, again, left side, you can go back and edit it. That is how we are going to do that. So now, first, let's talk about static input. Okay. For example, I want to add two numbers. Okay. So first I'll take A is equal to 10. Okay. I'll take B is equal to 5. Okay. I want to add these two numbers. So sum is equal to A plus B we can do. If you want to display that result, we need to use print. Okay. Let's talk about it one by one. Slowly, you will get that idea. So what I did here in the first line. First line, what I did is I have taken 10. This is my data. 10, that is an integer data. I have taken it. What did I do? I have assigned 10 to A. I have assigned the 10 to A, variable A. So what happens in memory location? This 10 will be stored at one particular place, and that memory location I can access by using the name A. So A is equal to 10. A has been assigned with 10. B is equal to 5. B has been assigned with 5. Okay. And sum is equal to A plus B. So what is A plus B? What is A? What is B? A is 10 and B is 5. So A plus B, you're going to get 15. Okay. So that will be stored inside sum. So what we are doing here, we are printing sum. So if I run this, what is the output I'm going to get? I'm going to get 15 in this case. Okay, that's how it is going to be. So this input that we are taking, this is what we call a static input. Static input. Okay, so this is static input because doesn't matter how many times I run. Okay, you see, doesn't matter how many times I run. Every time, what is the value of A comma B? Let me print them as well. Okay, so value of A comma A. Okay, value of B comma B. So if I run this, it doesn't matter how many times I run. A value will be always 10, B value will be always 5. They are not going to change. So this type of input, when you write the values, when you assign the values during the code time, okay, while you're writing the code, okay, that is what we call a static input, or you can also call it as a fixed input. Okay, static input. Now, if you wonder, sir, you're writing some piece of code, like you have written some piece of code. Beside here, you're writing some text as well. Okay. So if you write it without this hash here, you see here it is highlighted. If I try to run it, Python will think this is also a part of the code and it will start showing me that as an error. Okay. It will say invalid syntax. That is not a part of the syntax. I don't recognize it. That's what Python is saying. So why I'm writing this particular line here? Okay. Because for you to understand what the first line A is equal to 10 means. But in order to avoid these errors, I need to comment it. Okay. Comment. What is meant by a comment? Comments are just English statements which are used for reading purpose, documentation, for readability. Okay. They will be ignored by the compiler. They will not be executed. You see, comments are ignored by compiler. They will not be executed. That will not affect your output. Why I am writing a comment? Why I am writing a comment? I'm writing this comment so you can understand better. Okay. For better understanding. Okay. I'm writing this comment for better understanding. Okay. That's in a single line. So every time, whenever I write and show some code to you, I'll be writing some comments beside of it, and how to write a single line comment by using hash. Okay. Use hash symbol to write a single line comment. Line comment means whatever you write after it will be a comment. Okay. Will not be executed by the compiler, right? It is only for readability. Okay. It is only for you to read and understand it better. So if you're seeing these comments, something which starts with a hash, don't worry anything about it. That is only for you to read and understand the code better. Okay. Right. I hope that is fine. Right. So now, yeah, this is what we talked about. Like, let me copy it. I'll also paste them inside a Word file. I'll give you this entire code. Okay. Done. Yeah, I think we can touch it better. So are you guys accessing the notes? You guys are able to access the material that we are providing you? You saw the material? Yes. Let us know if you face any issue in that material. We are keeping everything, every topic that we have discussed. So do use that material. Okay. Yeah. Those are pages of my own Python book. So do not share it with anyone else. Otherwise, I'll get a copyright strike. Right. So I'll erase this as of now. Okay. I'll clear the output screen as well. Done. Right. So we talked about static input. What is meant by static input? If I write A equal to 10, print A. That's it. A value will be 10 always. Doesn't matter how many times I run it. A value will be always 10. Now let us talk about dynamic input. Okay. So dynamic means moving or changing. So every time I can change the input I'm going to take. Every time I can change the value. Let us see how we can write dynamic input. So we'll write A equal to, okay, we will use the function input. We will use the function input. So what this will do? This will help us to take input from the user during runtime. Okay. Let me write a small commented line for it. Okay. So takes input during execution, I'll write. Okay. During runtime. Right. So I'll take the input. And for now, I'm using this print statement. Don't worry about it. We are going to talk about print as well. So I'm printing it. Print A. Now let's run this. Now you see I'm running it. Okay. So in the output, you can see that the cursor is blinking. It is waiting for my command. Okay. It is waiting for me to enter some value. Let us say I'll enter 10. Okay. I need to press enter, then that input will be received. Okay. So I have typed out some value 10, that is 10. So once I'm done with that giving input, so I need to press enter. So once I press enter, you see we are getting the output as well. Okay. So for your understanding, I'll just change the statement a little bit. Okay. Entered or the value of A is, okay. I'll just display it in this way. So now you see, I'm running it. It is waiting for me to enter the value. So I'll enter 5. I'll click on enter. Now you see, I'm getting value of A is 5. Value of A is 5. I'll run this again. Now you see again I can change the input. I can give 48 now. Now this time a value is 48. Again I'm running it. This time I'm entering 12. So every time you can change the input value. Okay. So what does input do? Input is a function. Sir, what is a function? Function is something which performs a task for us. Okay. What does the input function do? Input function will help you take some input from the keyboard. It will wait for you to enter some input. Okay. So now you have learned about it. Let us try to execute this. Okay. Let us write our first program. Okay. Let us try to add two numbers. Okay. Addition of two numbers. This is our first program. Done. Right. So first, in order to add two numbers, if I say, okay, add two numbers, what would be the thing that you need? First, you would need two numbers in order to perform addition. You can use plus to perform addition. You can convey the output to me, right? Just like we perform basic mathematics. If you see all the programming part, okay, those are all nothing but basic math. If you have completed those L hospital rule, those limits, those functions in your eighth, ninth, 10th, inter first year, second year, this is a piece of cake. Okay. I hope you all know factorial, right? Factorial of 5. That was a program. That is a program for us. Prime number is a program for us. Okay. All these are simple things. They will give you 10 numbers. They will ask you to find the maximum value. Maximum element in an array, maximum element in a list. That's it now. So we can simply tell it the maximum or minimum by looking at those 10 values. So it's very easy. So the programming part is the one that you need to focus on, the translation. Okay. The questions are very easy. Okay. This math is very easy, right? So let's see. So addition of two numbers. So first we need to take two numbers. So I'll take two numbers. I'll take A is equal to, I know input is the function which will help me to take input from the keyboard during runtime. So I'll use A equal to input. Next, I need to take one more number. So B equal to input. Okay. A equal to input and B equal to input. Done. So we have taken two numbers, right? So I'll print both of them. So print, I'll just write A comma B as of now. You see, I'll run it. You will be able to see the output there. So I'm running it. It is waiting for me to enter the first number. Okay. The first number I'll enter is 5. Second number I'll enter is 3. Okay. 5, 3. So 5 space 3 I'll get. You see A comma B, I'm getting 5 space 3. Done. So now that is fine. Okay. That is okay. But you see the problem I'm facing is if I'm trying to run anything, okay, I don't know what I need to enter here, how many values I need to enter here, right? So that is a problem for me. So in order to resolve it, what we have is, okay, input also has an optional argument. Optional argument. Sir, what is an argument? Okay, whatever you write inside a function is called as an argument. You see, inside this parenthesis is called as an argument. Okay, so let me write that as well. Anything we write inside open and close parenthesis is called as argument. Okay, done. So here we have an optional argument. What is that optional argument? We can write any string data here. Okay, string means we need to keep it inside a single quote or double quote. So I'll use single quotes. I'll say, okay, so enter the value of A. Enter the value of A. Okay. So you see here, this is what I'm writing. I'll give some space there. So what will happen is when I run this, it is going to display this string so that I'll have better idea. Okay, I need to enter the value of it, right? Next, let us also write it, do the same for second one. Enter the value of B. Okay. Now you see, let's run both of them. Let me happen to it. Some error. Let's reload it once. So let's run it. Now you see, instead of getting the normal prompt, okay, earlier what was happening, it was only blinking, okay, so I was only getting that blink, cursor blink. Now what we are getting, it is asking me to enter the value of a. So now it is a bit clear for me, I know what inputs I need to enter. So what is the value of a? I'll enter 5. Once I'm done with it, I'll press on the enter key. Now I'm into the second line. So what's happening here? Enter the value of B. Again, it is telling me that it is expecting the value of B. So I know what I need to enter. So 3 I'll do. So I'll click on enter. That's it. You see, I'm able to see the output 5 comma 3 there. 5, 3 are being displayed on the screen. So this optional argument, why did I say optional? If you remember, in the last one, we did not write this. Up into this. Right. If you remember, in the last time when we ran it, we did not write these strings inside of it. Okay, what do we call them? We call them as an argument. Whatever you write inside these open and close parentheses, we call it as an argument. Okay, so we did not write it, but our program ran normally. We were able to see the output. Okay, that was not an issue. Just a second. Okay, we ran it normally. We did not get any errors. You see, I'm entering 5, I'm entering 3. You see, I'm getting 5 space 3 there, right? So what is the advantage? When you write it as enter the value of a, when you give this optional string, so what will happen? It will be a little bit clear to you, okay? So how many values that you have to enter and what value you have to enter, that is going to be very clear to you. Okay. So always write this optional string. Okay. Whenever you are writing code on your own. So see, enter the value of A, I'll enter it 5, enter the value of B, I'll enter it 3. So I'm going to get 5, 3. So this is a good thing for us. That's now let's perform addition of two numbers. So here I'm printing the values. Okay, I'm printing A and I'm printing B. Now what I'll do is I'm going to print the sum of both of them. Okay, so I'll say add is equal to A plus B. I'm going to print, okay, so addition, addition or result something. So we'll print add. Now I'll run this. I'll run this. You see, the value of A I'm going to enter is 10. Value of B I'm going to enter is 5. What do you think the output is going to be? A value is 10, B value is 5. What do you think the output is going to be? A value is 10, B value is 5. What do you think the output is going to be? Is it 10 plus 5? Generally, that is 15, but here you see, if we write A value and B value, if we run it, we are going to get 105. Okay, 105. Why? Why? Because here you have entered integers, but this input function by default, it is going to take input in the form of a string. Input, okay, function takes input, okay, input function takes input function takes input as a string data type. Okay, that is not number 10, that is not number 5, that is string 10 and string 5. So it is simply adding 105 characters. So 105 it will become, right? So Doesn't matter. Even if you don't enter number, that is also fine. Let us say I'll say good, and in the next line I'll say morning. Okay. You see, A is good, B is morning. By default, it is going to be string. By default, it is going to be string. So it is concatenating, joining both the strings. So 10 is string and 5 is string. So in order to make it simple for you, so how it will take input is, you see, here in this manner. This is going to be that 10 and this is going to be 5. If it is present in single quotes, that means that it is a string. Okay, right. So let's remove that. Now, sir, what do I have to do? I want to take integers. I want to add integers. Or how do you know that it is taking string? Okay, I hope you remember. What is the function which will print the data type? What is the function which will print the data type? That is the type function. Okay, type of A. I want to print the data type. I want to see the data type of A. I want to see the data type of B. Okay, I'm trying to display them. So I'll run this. I'll run this. You see, A value 5 I'm going to give, B value 3 I'm going to give. So what I want to do, I want to see the data type of A comma B. If I press enter, I'll not be able to see anything. You see, I'm just getting 5, 3, 53. Okay. 5 plus 3 should be 8. They're taking it as strings. It is concatenating them. I'm unable to see the data type. So why did I write here? Why did I write this statement here? To see the data type. Type function will give me the data type. So what happened here? What is the error? Can you identify the error for me? Why I was unable to achieve the task? Why I was unable to achieve the task? I'm using type. Then what's the problem? What is that I want to achieve? I want to see what data type it is. You see, the answer lies in the question. I want to see what data type it is. Yes, you see, if I want to see it, I have to print it. Okay. If I want to display something, I have to print it. Very good. So, sir, what I should print? You see, this particular statement is giving you the data type. So you need to print this entire statement. So you need to keep this statement inside print. So print open parenthesis and close parenthesis in this way. Okay, if you want to display it, do it in this way. Okay, done. So let's run it. So you see, it is asking me to enter the value of A. I'll enter 5. It is asking me to enter the value of B. I'll enter 3. Okay, 5 plus 3. Concatenation is happening. Why? Why? Because both are strings and they are being joined here. Okay, 5 plus 3, we are getting 52. Right? As you can see the data type, I'm getting them as string. Sir, how to convert the data type? How to change the data type? I don't want to take it as a string data type, okay? Because I'm not going to enter any characters. Okay, you see, good. If I write morning, these are characters, these are strings. So what I should do is I have to convert them into integers, okay? And in order to convert them into integers, again, we have function. We have a function called int. Okay. What this int will do? This int is going to convert any other data type into integer if the conversion is possible. Okay. So what we have to do is there are two ways of doing it. Let me show both of them. Okay. So yeah, I'll copy this. Let me keep this inside the notepad. That's going to be better. Right. So I want to convert this a into integer. So I'll say int of a, right? And I'll want to convert b into integer. So I'll say int of b. This browser is hanging it. Okay. So int of v, right? So if you do that, simply they will not be converted. Okay. You have to replace. Okay. A is having string value 10. B is having string value 5. So you have to convert A into integer, B into integer. You have to replace the value. They're variable. We are changing the value again. Okay. So now if I run this, you see enter the value of A, I'll enter 5. Enter the value of B, I'll enter 3. So A value is 5, B value is 3, 5 plus 3, we are going to get it as 8. Sir, why we are getting it as 8? So what did you do? You have converted the data type. And how did you convert the data type? By using this int function. So int, okay, function will convert any data type to integer. Any data type to integer. Okay, that is what int function will do. Done. Yes. Convert into integer. Let me show you that. Let me tell you the proof of it. So I hope you know. So how can we see the data type of it? We need to go with type of A. Okay, we need to go with type of B. We need to display them. So we are using them. So run this. You see, enter the value of A, I'll enter 5. Okay, enter the value of B, I'll enter 3. Now, what are the data types of A and B now? A is converted into integer and B is converted into integer. You can see that we are displaying the data type of both of them, that is being printed as intended. Okay. Now, if I'm adding them, that will be 5 plus 3. So I'm getting 8. So I'm displaying the result of addition. So we are getting it as 8. That's it. Very simple. Very easy. Right. Now, instead of writing this in two different lines, okay, you see here, I'm taking the input here. While taking the input itself, I can convert that into integer. How? You see, what is the value of A? What does A mean? A is equal to input of enter the value. You see, I'm going to point it one more time. I'm converting which value into integer? A. So what is A? If you observe fourth line, A is equal to this input of enter the value of A. So I'll cut it. I'll just paste it here. A is equal to int of input, enter the value. So whatever input that you're taking, if you enclose that inside integer, that is going to take the input as an integer. Whatever input that you're going to take, if you enclose that inside this int function, it is going to take input as integer. Enter the value of B. Okay. So what's happening here? Whatever input that you take, if you enclose that inside int function, the input will be integer. If you enclose that inside float function, the input will be float. If you enclose that inside, okay, bool function, the input will be bool. In that way, you can take all different data types as input. Okay. First, let us check this one. I'm going to run this, enter the value of A, 5 I'll enter the value of B, 3 I'll enter. You see, I'm getting the output as 8, and it is also displaying me class of int, class of int. Now, here is a warning. If I run this, and if I enter the value of A as good morning, and if I try to run it, okay, you say I'm getting error. Why? See the error here. See the error message here. Error, it is saying trace back where you got that error. So you got the error in line number 5. Okay, where is line number 5? Here. You see, this is line number 5. What was the error I got? Value error. Value means whatever value I entered. What is the value I entered? Good morning. Okay. So it is saying that invalid literal. You know what is meant by literal? Literal is nothing but the raw value. So whatever value you have entered for int function, okay, it is not valid because good morning is not an integer. That is why it is not valid. You enter any integer, that is a valid statement. Okay. You're entering string, you're entering characters, which is not the valid okay input for int function. So that is what the error it is going to do. Okay. So this is how you can read the error. You can Go back to the line. You can analyze it a little bit. Once you read and understand the error, the next time, if you're getting the same error, 99%, you'll simply understand it, you will change it. Okay. So you can happily resolve it. You will not be repeating it. Okay. So always read and understand the errors that you are getting. Right. So now let me show you how to take different data types as input. Okay. So let us see let us see float. Okay. So let us see string. We will be good with those three as of now. And let's see. Why is the browser hanging a bit here? Copy this, paste in here. Done. So there is all of this. Now let's write everything from scratch. So how to take input? I have to use the function input. Okay. What happens if I do this? A prompt will be generated on the output screen. The user has to enter something from the keyboard. Now, while entering, the user will face an issue. He will not know if I'm asking something or just the screen is blinking, or what input I'm expecting from him, what data type I'm expecting from him. He'll not be able to know anything. So in order for making the experience a little bit better, I'll say enter A, enter an integer, I'll say. Enter an integer. Okay. So it is going to display enter an integer. Now, whatever input I am taking, that has to be saved inside a variable for future usage, for adding it with another variable or displaying it. So I'll name it as A. Done. So by default, input takes input in the form of string. So I don't want string. I want a integer. So what I need to do? I need to enclose this inside the int function. You see, int function, I'm opening the bracket, int function, I'm closing the bracket. Okay, I need to do this. Now, whatever input that you're taking will be sent to be converted into an integer. Okay, now you're taking an integer input. Okay, so B is equal to, if I want to take float input, same thing, float of input, you will write enter a float value. Okay. Next, C is equal to, we can write str of input. So we can say enter a string value. Done. So I'll print all three of them. Print A. Just a second. Just a second. This browser stuck a bit. What's the issue in this laptop? Yeah, we also have Boolean one, but that's a bit complicated. Okay, I'll tell you that later. Yeah, print A, print B, you see, print C. We have these three: print A, print B, print C. Now, if you are running it, you see, enter an integer, I'll enter 10, right? That's an integer. Enter a float, 5.256, that's a float. Enter a string, I'll say Python Bootcamp. This is a string. Done. If I run it, you see A, B, C, I'm able to see the output, but that doesn't mean that they are taken in that type of data. Na? So let us also verify that. So we are printing a comma. I'll print type of it. Okay. So here we are printing B, comma. We'll also print type of B. We are printing C, comma. We'll also print type of C here. Done. Now let's run this. Let us say I'll enter 12 for A, 2.658 for B, and Rajesh first C. Done. You see A 12, that is an integer. B 2.3658, that is a float. C RAJESH, group of six different characters, that is called as a string. You can see the data type of it. And if you observe, did I mention what type of data type they are? No. Python internally automatically takes them, automatically allocates them. Okay. So it will automatically convert them, right? So even if you do the static ones, that is same. Now I'll show you the common mistake people generally make. So if I run this, so enter an integer. I'm expecting an integer. If I write good, is that an integer? No. So if I run it, I'll get an error. What is it saying? Value error. Value error means the value I have entered is error. Invalid literal. Literal means raw value. Whatever raw value you have given, it is not valid for the int function because int function only takes integers. What are integers? Integer is something which will have digits 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is what we call base 10. So you should only have 0 to 9. Okay. Apart from that, nothing should be there. Now I'll run this again. I'll show you another common mistake that you'll make. I'll say 15.36. Is this an integer? This is an integer. Will we get an error or not? What do you think? This is an integer. Will we get any error? This is an integer. Will we get any error? What do you think? What will happen? Will get any error? Yes, you see, that is float. Okay. That is float. 15.26. That is float. Again, you're going to get error. Okay. You should only have 0 to 9. You should not even have the dot. So if you are doing all this stuff, Python is very robust. Python has some stricter rules and all. So you need to enter the formats properly. Python will check everything internally. If there is an error, whatever that can be, Python is going to display error message on the screen. It will stop the execution. It will show you the error message. So you need to check that. You need to correct it, right? That's it. Now, one more common mistake I generally observe. Okay. You see how many brackets I have opened here. I have opened one bracket. I have opened another bracket. So two brackets I have opened. I need to close two brackets. Okay. You see, first bracket is closed at the last. Inside of it, we have input. Okay. You see, input is opened and closed, right? If I miss any bracket, sometimes students, mostly, they are going to miss the last bracket there. So if I run this, you see, Python will try its level best to convey what mistake you made. So what is it trying to tell me? You got an error. Where you got the error? Tracing back to your code. Okay. Line number one, you got an error. This is the line number one. Okay. What is the error I got? You see, it is pointing to some location. You see this arrow mark here? It is pointing to the opening bracket. What is it telling? Syntax error. Syntax means grammatical mistake. This opening bracket was never closed. Okay. You see, I have opened this bracket, but it did not close it. I have opened the inner one. I have closed it. You see, automatically, if I click on opening, closing will be also highlighted. So Python will try its level best to convey what type of error you made. Okay. It will tell you which line it is. It will tell you which character it is. It will try its maximum level. Okay. It is going to point in the error direction. One thing that you need to do is understand. Okay. Whenever you're translating something into code, try and understand how the other person is evaluating things, how machine is understanding the code that you have written. So what are the errors it is giving you? Understand it, check it, resolve it. That is how you will get better at coding. Okay, that's it. That's about taking integer input, float input, and string input. Okay, so let me write some comments there. Let me write some comments there. Okay, for you to check in the future. So what happens with this one? Single line comment. So takes integer input. Now second one. takes float input. Now next one takes string input, takes string input. Now, if you observe one thing, by default, input will be taken as, okay, by default, input function takes input as string. So you don't even have to write it. Okay. You can simply leave it in this manner. You don't even have to write it. So just leave it as it is. We have a string function. That's fine, but leave it as it is. It's already string. What happens if you convert it again into string? Okay, just waste of time. So you can simply leave it in this manner. Then that's it. That is about taking input. Let us go back to the PowerPoint. Let us see the notes. So whatever material that we are providing is very high quality. So I hope you will properly utilize that. So let us see the slides here. Done. So we have seen static input, dynamic input. Static we have seen. Now let's talk about dynamic input. So what is the function? We used to take dynamic input from the user. Input function is used to take dynamic input from the user. Next, second thing, input function can also have an optional argument. Why? For better user experience. Okay, if I have an argument, something which tells me what type of input I need to enter during execution, that will make my life easy, my work easy. So that's an optional argument. And by default, what is the data type? It is going to store all those input values. It is going to store everything as integer. Okay, even if you enter any numeric value, it is going to store that as a integer. Then next, in order to take input in different data types, we need to convert them. We have different functions again. Again, what is a function? Which performs some task. What does the int function do? Converts anything into integer. What does the float function do? Converts anything into floating point value. Okay, that's it. That is about the input function, right? I hope you are clear with input function. Any doubt with it? Understood a little bit of how to get started with coding, how to write the code, how to check for errors, how to evaluate your own code after viewing the output, and how to correct it. Understood? Understood about input function? Understood about input function? Understood about input function? Any doubt up to this point? Any doubt up to this point? Done. Right. Now let's talk about the print function. Let's talk about displaying the output. Let's talk about displaying the output. Okay. Now let's see. So I'll erase all this stuff. Then I'll clear this as well. Now, if I want to display something, print is the function which will display anything that you write. Okay. Generally, I can display raw values. What are the raw values? I want to display 10 on screen. 10 is a raw value. You say I'm displaying it 10. Now I want to display one more value, print. I'll say, so Python day 3. I'll write Python day 3. Just a second. Browser is stuck. But if I switch to the code editor, a second. Yeah, now we got it again. Yeah. So Python day 3 have written. You see, what is this? This is a string raw value. Okay. Run it. We are able to see the output. Okay. Now you can also display variables. You can also perform calculations here. Let me do that. For example, I'm going to take A equal to, okay. So we have 160 participants as of now, 167. So A is equal to 167. I'll assign A is equal to 167. I'll take B is equal to 300 something, right? So if I want to display the value inside a variable, you say I'll write print A. So I need to write the variable name. Okay, just the name, nothing else. I'll write print B. I need to write the variable name, just the variable name, nothing else. So if I run it, you see I'm getting 167, I'm getting 300, right? So I'm getting the value inside the variable. I'm getting the value inside the variable. Can you tell me what happens if I print it as A, if I print it as B? Can you tell me what's going to happen now? What will be the output here? Can you tell me what will happen for these seventh and eighth lines specifically? What do you think? Do you think I'll get 167 and 300 again, or I'll get A comma B? What is your take? Will I get 167 and 300, or will I get A and B? You see, we are getting A and B. Why we are getting A and B? Because what did you print there? That is not the variable. That is a string. That is the raw value of the string. Okay. You're just printing the string literal. Okay. Now you see here, I'll try to go ahead and I'll try to print C. Can you tell me the output of C? Print C, ninth line. What do you think will happen? Ninth line, print C. Tell me the answer. Tell me the answer. Tell me the answer. Did I give you any C value? Did I tell you what is C? I told you that A is equal to 167, B equal to 300. Did I tell you any C value? No. The same thing. The same thing the system is going to ask you. Okay, if I run this, it will say trace back line number 9. C is not defined. You did not tell me what is the value of C. You did not define it. Okay, so we are getting that name error. We are getting that name error. That's it. That is what it will do. Okay. So we need to tell what value is C. If I write C is equal to 1345 something. Okay. So now you see it will give you that out. So we need to define everything. If you don't define it, you will get an error in this. Now, if you observe, every time I used a print statement, every time I got that inside a new line. Every time I used a print statement, I got it in a new line. Okay. So why? Why? Because by default, every print statement, it ends with something called as a new line character. Ends with something called a new line character. Okay. So you see here how internally it works is it will have something called as a end argument. End is equal to, it is going to end with this new line character. This is what we call as new line character. Okay. So I'll write it beside it, right? Ends with slash n. What is slash n? That is new line character. Okay. Slash n means your cursor will move to a new line. This is the cursor, whatever that is blinking on screen, it goes to a new line. That's what is going to happen. You might have seen that in C programming. Okay. So if I run this now, you see Python day 3 is one line. And in the next line, the value of A is being printed. Now, what did I do? I removed that new line. So sorry, 10. For 10, I removed that new line. So what will happen? This Python day 3 will be printed in the same line as of 10. So I'll run this. Okay. I'll run this. Sorry. I've kept it the same. So nothing will happen. So it is still ending with new line. That is what default it will be. So if I replace this new line, if I say end with, okay, end with something, any characters we can write, let us say 3 at the rates we will write, run it. You see after 10, this 5 @ I have written, they will be printed and I'm getting the second print statement. Okay. So this particular print statement is not ending with a new line character, which will enable my cursor to go to the next line. It is ending with 5 @ symbols. I can write anything here. I can write Rajesh. So first print statement is going to end with 10 Rajesh. Then the second print statement will start right away. Second print statement is ending with new line again. So end is equal to this slash n will be present. I'll remove this. Okay, I'll write second ending. Okay, second ending. So if I run this, you see, first print statement is 10. It is ending with Rajesh. Second print statement is Python day 3. It is ending with second ending. And third print statement will continue in the same line. Okay. So this end argument. Okay. This is an argument because you have written it inside these open and close parentheses. So this will control what your print statement will end with. By default, that will be slash n. You can remove that slash n. You can replace it with whatever characters you want. Your print statement is going to end with those characters. Okay, that's it. That's how simple it is. Then that is about end. Now, if you observe, I'm printing everything in multiple lines. I can also use one single print statement in order to print everything. I can also use one single print statement in order to print everything. How can I do that? I can use comma, A comma, B comma, C. Okay, if I run it, you see, I'm getting everything in a single line. A comma, B comma, C, I'm getting everything in a single line. I can also write other string values. For example, I want to display it as, okay, you see, value of A, value of A, okay, write it equal to or anything that you want to make it a little bit nice, okay, comma, you see, this is string value, so inside single quotes, after that, comma, we have kept a variable. After that, again, you can have another comma. You can write another string. So value of B, okay, is equal to, you can keep, that will make it a bit neat. Again, comma, you can write, you can say value of C is equal to, you can keep. Now run this. Now you see value of A is equal to 167. Value of B is equal to 300. Value of C is equal to 1456789. Okay. So what we are doing here, the first one, this is the string. Comma you kept, you wrote a variable. Again, comma you kept, you have given another string. You can also write other integers, float, etc. and all. You see, I'll be writing a lot of them. You say I'll keep 18 here, 18 comma, okay. And here, let us say I'll go with a Boolean value, true comma. Here I'll go with, now what else we have? Floating point value. So 14.6789 I'll keep, done. So you see, I'll run this. Now see, first we are getting an integer, comma. Second, we are getting value of A. This is the string, comma. We are getting the variable value, the value inside the variable A, that is 167. You see that is being replaced. And true, value of B, value of C, and this float also we are getting. So what is the key here? You need to separate individual values by using comma. So most of the times, the same common mistake I see is people generally forget this comma. Okay. You see, I've removed comma here. If I run it, again, Python will try its level best to convey what type of mistake you made. So what is the mistake that you made? What is the mistake you made? Okay, here it is telling you invalid syntax. Perhaps you forgot a comma. I hope you forgot a comma. Where did you forget a comma? In line number 4. So you need to check entire line number 4. So here I forgot a comma. You need to write that comma in that way. So you can display multiple values by separating them with comma, right? So you see A comma, B comma, C. So if I run it, I can print multiple values by separating them with comma. Clear? I can write multiple values by separating them with comma. Done. But if you observe, I did not give any space here. You see A comma, B comma, C. There is no space, but in the output, you can see some space here. There is some space in, okay, in between A, B, and C. Why? Because by default, whenever you are separating them with comma, just like English, whenever you use comma, we will have a space after it. Python thinks you're separating values. It needs to separate them. So it uses one space by default. So we have an argument called sep. By default, sep will be equal to this space. What is sep? Sep stands for separation. Okay, I'll write comments here. End stands for ending. Okay. What is the default value? Default value /n. Next, step stands for separation. Default value. Default value is space. You see, space, you cannot see that. So I'll use this single quotes and space inside of it. So that acts like a small space for you, right? By default, this space will be there. Sorry, what did I do here? I think yeah, line 55, we did not have any 55th line. Huh? Did I write something else anywhere? Let me copy this. Let's reload the browser a bit. Right. So browser issue, not a problem. Done. Sorry, I don't want to separate them by commas, sir. I want to separate them with dashes. Okay. So run this. You see now 167 dash 300 dash 1456789. I have used spaces as well there. So you see only dash 167 dash 300 dash. Okay, they are separated. Wherever you have that comma, that will separate them with dash. Okay. Next, you can also write anything. Let us say at the rate I'll write. You run it. They are going to be separated by at the rates, as you can see here. Okay, you can write anything. You can write even your name as well. Let us say I'll write my name, Rajesh here. If you run it, you see 167, Rajesh 300, Rajesh 1456789. Okay, that is how the output is going to be. Done. Clear? Understood about print statement? Understood about print statement? That's it. This is entirely about print statement. Let us again go back and check the slides here. You will understand about them completely. Now, print function is used to display output on the screen. Now, whatever output that you want to display, okay, that can be any raw value, any string, any variable, any function. You see, you have used input, you have used a type as a function inside of print. Okay, so you can have a combination of any of the above. And by default, a print statement will end with a new line character. Okay, so we can also use a print statement to display multiple values. How to do that? By using this comma as separator. Okay, and if you want to change the ending value, or if you want to change the separating value, you can use the arguments end and step. You can use the arguments end and step. That is how print function will work. You can also write an empty print statement. I forgot to show that to you. Let me do that. You see print, I'll say first line. Okay. You see print, I'll have an empty print. You see print, I'll have a third line. Now, second line is empty. If you run it, you see first line, I'll get the output string first line there. And second line is empty because you can also write empty print statement. Every print statement ends with a new line character. So you see here, we have a line gap there. Okay, that line, nothing is printed. So it will go to the next line. Every print statement will end with a new line character. And we have these arguments end and set. And we have these arguments end and set. Done? Clear? Understood up to this part? Understood up to this part? Clear? Understood input output? Understood input output? Understood input output? Now I have a small question for you. Okay. Tell me the answer. Tell me the output for this. Tell me the output for this. Tell me the output for this. Yes, that is a string. Okay. Now print A. Tell me the output for this. Tell me the output for this. Tell me the output for this. You see, if I want to display it, I need to keep it inside single quotes or double quotes. Okay. If I'm not using single quotes or double quotes, it thinks that it is a variable and it will say, you did not tell me what is the value of A. I don't know that. Okay. So A is not defined. So if I want to display A, I need to keep it inside single quotes. Okay. This is the most common mistake people generally do. So that's why I'm asking these. Okay. So attend the live classes. Once you listen to my lecture, I can guarantee you, you don't even have to refer anything else. With a bit of practice, you can simply master the concept. Okay. So if I want to display it, I need to keep it inside single quotes. Then that's it. That's it. That is about input and output. Now let us get started with the next part. Okay. Let's see. Let's see operators. Okay. Yeah. Let's see operators. Done. Let's get started with operators. Now there is a small terminology that you need to know. We have something called as operand. We have something called as operator. You see, I have an expression here 2 plus 3. Can you tell me what is called as an operand? What is an operator here? What is an operator? What is an operand? What is an operator? What is an operand? Yes, you can also use brackets in print statement. What is an operand and what is an operator? You see, 2 comma 3 are operands. Plus is an operator. Sir, what are these operators? Operators are special symbols. Plus, minus, division. Okay. Asterisk is for multiplication. Double asterisk is for exponentiation. So all these are symbols which we use for computational purpose. Okay. They have a special meaning. They perform the computational task. Okay, right. So let us see the different types of operators we have in Python. You see, in Python, we have a total of 7 different types of operators. We have arithmetic operators, we have assignment operators, we have okay, relational operators, we have logical operators, bitwise, membership, and identity operators. Okay. So let us talk about the first 5 as of now. We will also see 6 and 7 later on. Done? So coming to this first 5. First type of operators are arithmetic operators. And obviously, this is very easy for you to know. You have these symbols plus, minus, asterisk, forward slash, modulus. Okay. Double asterisk, double forward slash. Double asterisk and double forward slash. Double asterisk and double forward slash. Now let's see. I think I did not connect my digit pad here. Right. So what does plus do? Plus stands for addition. What does minus do? Minus stands for subtraction. What does asterisk do? Asterisk is for multiplication. Okay. You see, you need to call it as asterisk. Okay. You see, 1, 2, 3. Only 3 lines will be there. This is called as asterisk. That is the technical terminology. Asterisk. Okay. Right. And we have forward slash. You see, this is leaning forward. This is leaning forward. So we will call it as forward slash. One single forward slash for which type of division? Float division. What is float? Float means which has the fractional part, okay, which has the decimal point. So it contains fractional part. Fractional part. Okay. Next, we have modulo division. Sir, what is modulo division? You see, modulus means we will be getting reminder. For example, I hope during childhood we used to do these type of multiplication, division, etc. and all. Let me draw that once again. Okay, a small refresh. So see here, let us say 10 divided by 3. What is the remainder of it? You see, we'll draw 10 here. We'll have these two brackets like this. We'll have 3. 3 threes are 9. We have 1. We have the coefficient, we have the divisor, and we have the remainder. Okay. So modulus will give you remainder. Modulo division, you will be getting remainder. Now, if you want to calculate power, you have to use double asterisk. Okay. If I say 5 double asterisk 3, that means this is an indication that 5 power 3 in this manner. Okay. 5 cubed, 5 into 5 into 5, 5 power 3. So if I want to write power, I have to use double asterisk. Now we have double forward slash. What is that used? That is used for floor division. Sir, what is floor division, sir? Floor means, you see, float is for fractional part. Floor is for only whole number. Okay? Whole number. I'll tell you the terminology. So I hope you can see the room that you are in. So your room will have a ceiling. Your room will have a floor. Okay? The highest point and the lowest point. So even if I'm getting 2.9, if I take 2.9, what is the floor value? 2. What is the ceiling value? 3. So if I ask you floor, it will only give you the integer part. If I ask you seal, it will give you 3. If I am getting 2.1, if I am asking you seal, you need to tell me 3. If I'm asking you floor, you need to tell me 2. Okay. So floor means the lowest, the nearest integer, which is less than it. Seal means the nearest integer, which is greater than it. Okay. That is the terminology that you need to understand here, right? Floor means for now integer division. Floor means whole number or integer division, you can say. Okay. So let me write that. Plus for addition, minus for subtraction. Okay. Asterisk for multiplication. This is for float div. This is for int div. Okay. This is for remainder. This is for power, calculation of power, right? Plus, minus, asterisk, forward slash, double forward slash, modulus, and double asterisk for power. I hope that is clear. Let us visualize this once on screen. Let us visualize this once on screen. Okay. Let us say I'll take 2 dynamic input. Okay. So A is equal to int of input I'll take. I'll say enter A. Okay. Generally, I use a colon and then I give a small space. That will make it very neat. Then again, B is equal to int of input. I'll enter B. Right. So now I'm taking 2 inputs. What I want to do? I want to perform addition. I want to perform subtraction. All these things I want to perform and show the output to you. Okay. So let me do that. So I'll simply go with print. You can directly keep the operation there. Okay. So I'll say A plus B. You can say A minus B. You can say A multiplied by B, A asterisk B. Okay. A divided by B. What is the division? That is float division. Floor division. Okay. Modulo division. And power. A power B. Okay. B raised to the power of A. Now let's run this. Now before here, I didn't use it to get anything. I was very confused what I need to enter and all. Now, when you write this optional string, that will display it. Now your cursor will wait for you to enter the value of A. You see, A value, I'm entering that as 5. And B value, I'm entering that as 3. So now what is A plus B? That is 8. What is A minus B? That is 2. A multiplied by B, 15. 5 threes are. A divided by B, 5 divided by 3, 1.66666 up to 14 digits of precision we will get. A floor divided by B. You see, first one is float division. We are getting a decimal point, the fractional part. Second one is floor division. We are only getting the integer. Next, modulus. So 5 divided by 3. What is the remainder? The remainder is 2. And 5 power 3. 5 into 5 into 5. 5 multiplied 3 times. That is 125. So instead of just printing them in this manner, make it look a little bit neat. Whenever you're writing your code, make sure the presentation is good. Okay, because you will be referring to that code later on in the future. When you become a developer, you will keep on making changes. And when you're working on a project, you're not the single person who will work on that code base. 5, 6 people from 10, 15, 20 years, people will be working on the same code. So make sure it's very neat. Always use comments. Always use good variable names. Always have good readability in your code. So here what I'll do is I'll write a small string beside them. Addition. A plus B. Okay. I can write subtraction. I can also take it a little bit further. Okay. By doing A comma plus comma B. Okay. Here I'll write equal to that as well. Make sure you use commas, you close the single quotes and all properly. So for plus I have written. Similarly for minus also I'll write. Okay. Close the single quote, comma, B, comma, again, equal to I'll write, comma. Now if I run this, you see enter A value 5, enter B value 3. Now you see 5 plus 3 equal to 8, 5 minus 3 equal to 2. In this way, I'm getting the output. That's very readable. You can also write addition of A plus B, subtraction of A minus B. So you see here, A, this is the variable. So variable is being replaced by its value. Plus, I'm writing it as a character. That is a character. I need to include it as in single quotes. So this is how you can get the output. So always write your code very neatly in this manner. Okay. So these are all the arithmetic operators. Now let us go to the next one. Let us also see the next set of operators we have. Done. So arithmetic is done. Second one is assignment operators. Sir, what is assignment? Assigning something, assignment, right? So equal to stands for assignment operator. What happens is whatever values that you have on right side will be assigned to left side variable. Okay. So A is equal to 5 I'll take. So what's happening here? 5 is assigned to A. A is equal to 5 into 3 I'll write. What will happen? This expression will be evaluated. What is 5 into 3? 15. This 15 will be assigned to A. Okay. So right side operand to the left side operand. You see here, right side, whatever values you have, 5, 6, 7. Okay. That can be named. That will be assigned to the left side. Okay. Variable name. Right. There is also a shortcut form. We call them as compound assignment operators. Okay. Or if I have to do, like if say A equal to 5, if I have to say A equal to A plus 1, okay, I can also write it as A plus is equal to 1. If you have both the variables on same side, you can write it as compound assignment. This is what we call as compound, or this is shortcut form. Shortcut, just to make typing easy. So even if you're seeing something like this, if you see A plus is equal to 5, what you need to do is A equal to A plus 5. If you see A asterisk is equal to 3, what you need to evaluate that as A is equal to A into 3. You can write A equal to A into 3 as A asterisk equal to 3. Shortcut, just to save your typing time. That's it. Okay. Nothing apart from that. That is the second type of operators that we have. Those are assignment operators. Now let's see the next one. Next one we have is relational operators. Okay. So relational operators, we have double equal to, not equal to. Okay, don't worry about this third one. This is not present as of now. Okay, just ignore this third one. We have greater than, we have less than, we have greater than or equal to, we have less than or equal to, right? So if you are someone who is still struggling with greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, I'll explain that as well. You see, relational operators, all these will give you only true or false, either true or false. They tell us the relation between two values. They compare two values. We also call it as comparison operators. Okay. They compare two values. They tell you the relation between two values. For example, if I take A equal to 5, if I take B equal to 3, if I want to check A greater than B, okay. You see, if you're someone who is still struggling with this greater than, less than symbol, I'll tell you a small trick. You see, we have the opening of the mouth, or we have two edges here. Okay. This side, we should have the bigger value. This side, opening side, we should have the bigger value. And the closing side, you see only one edge is there. If you have the smaller value, if you have the smaller value, that is true. If it is the opposite of it, then it's false. Okay. Now you see A greater than B. So this side, I have A, that is 5. I have B, that is 3. 5 greater than 3. So this side, left side, I have the bigger value, opening side. So that is true. Okay. If I say B greater than A, so 3 greater than 5. Opening side, I have 3. Bigger value is not present. So this is false. You see, all these will give you true or false. Okay. So we have greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. We have double equal to check equality. For example, A equal to 5, B is equal to 5. If I want to check A is equal to B, A is equal to, okay, A is equal to B, yes or no? That is true. So A equal to 5 and B is also equal to 5. If I want to check A equal to B, I need to use double equal to. One single equal to is for assignment. If I write A equal to 5, 5 will be assigned to A. If I write A double equal to 5, the value inside A will be compared with 5. It will tell me if they are equal or not. If they are equal, it will give me true. If they are not equal, it will give me false. If you want to check not equal to, we will use exclamatory mark and we will use equal to that. Okay, that is how we can check not equal to. Done. That's it. That is about relational operators. Let us also see that a little bit. And we are almost at the end of our session. Okay, so let us also see that. Done. So again, try to take inputs as many times as you can. Okay, do that practice. So have that coding practice so that you can type fast and that will be in your muscle memory. Right, I'm going to take two integers, a equal to int of input. I'm going to ask the user to enter a, give a small column and space that will make it a bit neat. B is equal to int of input. I'll ask him to enter B, right? So we are taking two values as input. Now I want to display A greater than B. So A greater than B. I want to check A less than B. I hope you remember, if you write it in this manner, the output, the conveying is not that good. So let us also write it in this way, A greater than B is equal to, or result, let's say, result of A greater than B. Okay, in this way, if you write it, that will be good. So we are running out of time. So let me copy and paste it. Done. Less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, is equal to, not equal to. Let's change it. Greater than, less than, you guys type it. Okay. So have some typing practice. Writing code quickly is also a very important thing. Less than or equal to, right? Is equal to, is equal to, not equal to, okay, not equal to. Now you see, I'll run it. Now, before I can enter my value, I'm getting to know what value I'm entering. Enter A, it is asking me. So 5. Enter B, it is asking me 3. As you guys clearly know, A greater than B, yes. A less than B, no. A greater than or equal to B, yes. A less than or equal to B, no. A equal to B, no. A not equal to B, yes. If I enter both of them as same, okay? You see, I'll enter A 5, B also 5. Now you see, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, is equal to. Because they are equal, these three lines I'm getting false. It is not greater than, it is not less than, it is not equal to. Both of them are equal, right? So in this way, you can check it. So these are relational operators. Okay. So I've seen three categories today. One is we have seen arithmetic operators, plus, minus, etc. and all. Floor division, we have seen the difference. Next, we have seen assignment. We have also shown you compound assignment, what it looks like. And we have seen these relational operators, right? That's it. I hope that will be enough for today. Okay, we'll continue again tomorrow. We'll continue where we left off. We will talk about these bitwise operators separately. That is very important. Okay. So we'll see logical, we will see bitwise, and then we can go ahead and complete it. Okay. So we do have a small quiz, and they might also include some logical operators as well, right? So do answer them. We will discuss them tomorrow. And the quiz is again live on our Instagram handle. You can check it out. Okay, give it a try. I hope you loved the quiz, loved our efforts and all. Do utilize the materials we are providing. Recording we are going to provide. So if you have any doubts and all, you can go through that as well, right? So check out all the stuff. That's it. That will be it for today. I'll see you again tomorrow. Let me know if you have any doubts in today's lecture. I'll explain them again. And with that, we can end. Any doubts? Any doubts in today's session? Any doubts in today's session? Yes, sure. I'll show you the print statement with curly braces. Okay. So print we have. So what do you want to print here? Let us print 10, comma, 20, comma, 30, comma, 40. I'm going to separate them with curly braces. Okay. To have this curly braces here. So you see, they are being separated with curly braces. If you want to have curly braces in front and after it, you need to write them manually. Write them manually. You see curly braces, comma. Again, curly braces, comma. You can write. Okay. So only for 10, I'm having the curly braces there. Done. So you see here, 10 you got inside curly braces. So in that way, you can write. Flower bracket. Okay. You can use any flower bracket if you want. Okay. You see where is this? Yeah. Flower bracket. Anything that is a character that can be printed as a string. So whatever values you want, place them in between, and you can have your characters before and after. Okay. So not an issue. Clear? Right. That's it. That's it for today then. I'll see you again tomorrow, same timings. And yes, surprise is still not revealed yet. I'm taking a lot of time to explain everything because I think a lot of beginners are there. So it's okay. It's fine. I can spend some extra time. We can wait a little bit longer in order to deep dive into coding. I hope the pace is not too fast for you. Even if it is a bit slow, just bear with me because other students also have to improve themselves. They need to join you. We all have to be on the same level, right? So I hope the pace is not too fast. It might be a bit slow, but bear with me. It takes time for some beginner who is just starting their career as a programmer in order to learn what is input, what is output, what I'm talking about. Okay. So we'll go a bit faster from next session. Done? That's it. That's it for today then. I'll how to take input of Boolean types. Okay, right. You see, Boolean, we have two values. Let me give you that theory part a bit because you asked it. You see, Boolean, we have two values, true and we have false. Okay, right. So for false, I'll give you some values. So you see, there are 9 values which will be considered as false. First one is 0. Next one is 0 0.0. Next one is none. Next one is the Boolean value false itself. Okay. Next one is empty string, empty list, empty set. Okay. So how many numbers happen? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right. So what else we have? We have empty tuple, 8. So 0, 0 0.0, and 0j is also there. That is also a Boolean value. Okay. You see, these nine values are considered Boolean false, considered as Boolean false. Anything apart from this is true. Okay. Anything else is true. Any other character, any other bunch of characters. Okay. Anything, anything else is only those 9 characters are false. That's it. Anything else is true. Okay. You see, let me first print some for you. So print bool of 0. What is Boolean 0? That is false. Okay. Let me copy this print statement. Let me write it again. So bool of 1, that is true. Okay. Let's print it again. Bool of 0 0.0 is false. Okay. Anything 0 0.0 is false. Next one. Bool of Python. What do you think? Will get true or false? Will get true. Why? Why? Because anything apart from these 9 characters, okay, 9 values that I have entered is true. Okay, Python is true. Bool of, you can write 167. That is also true. Okay, anything apart from those 9 values will be considered true. So Boolean, this function, bool function, will give you the Boolean value of that conversion, of that input. Okay. But whenever you're using input function, if you try to take Boolean input from the user, okay, you see input takes input as string, na? Takes input as string data type. So any string apart from empty string is true. Any string is true. So that's an issue that you have. You can also use it. For example, you can take A is equal to bool of input. So whatever input that you are taking, okay, will be converted into Boolean value, but by default, every time input will be taken as a string. So if I write it as 0, you see, if I write it as 0, you see, it is considering 0 as true. Why? Because that's not integer 0. That is string 0. String 0. String is true. So what do we need to do? We need to convert that into int first. Okay. Then we need to run it. Now, if you see, if I write 0, now you see I'm getting false. If I write 1, I'll get it as true. If I write any other variable, any other number, I'll get true. Why? Because anything apart from 0, 0 0.0, 0j, none, false, empty string, empty list, empty set, empty tuple will be treated as true. These are the 9 values which are false. You can use the Boolean function in order to convert a value into Boolean true or false. So enter any value here. You will get true or false. You will get true or false. That's it. I hope the doubt is resolved. Now, anything else from anyone else? Clear? Any doubts? Any doubts in today's session? Yes, print power of A. You need to use, yeah, that is a small error. You have a small error there. Okay. So my PC is running low on power. My PC is a little bit low on power. So, if you're writing it in this way, you will get a small error here. Okay. So the correct way of printing it is you need to use F string, and here you need to keep it inside the single quotes. This is called as F string. Okay. So you run it. Now you'll be able to get the output. So this is the correct way of printing. If you use F string. If you use F string. I don't want to confuse you guys as beginners, so I'm not telling you the advanced stuff of it. Okay. F string. Done. So all the string Boolean values result to true. Yes. Okay. Anything like if you're keeping apart from empty string, everything will be taken as true. You need to convert the string into either integer or if you convert that into integer, you will get 0. If you convert that into float, but if you are writing 0.0, that will be given its true value. Okay. Don't worry about it too much. That's not a big deal. Okay. Just ignore it. That's not a important topic in a way. So anything else? Anything else from anyone else? Right. That's it then. The Insta quiz is live. We'll post the link. So do attempt it a little bit. We also have logical operators there. Give it a try. We'll talk about them tomorrow. That will be it for today. I'll see you again tomorrow. Same timings. Yeah, multi-line comments. Yeah, multi-line comments. Yeah, that you're seeing here is multi-line comments. You start with triple quotes. End with triple quotes. Whatever you write in between that area, that is a multi-line comment. Okay. Start with triple quotes, end with triple quotes. Whatever you write in between them will not be executed. That is a multi-line comment. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. I don't want to stuff too much information in you. So today, I only want you to mainly focus on input and print function. So that's why nothing else. We don't have to discuss other things as of now to confuse you. So just keeping it a bit low. Right. So we'll see these tomorrow. That's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.